Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our afternoon read aloud. We're going to read chapter 7 of Charlotte's Web. I would love to know what you're thinking so far. If you want, you can post in our Google Doc or send me a message. What do you think of the story? Do you like it? Do you hate it? If you want to post something, that's cool. I like the story, but maybe you don't. And that's okay. So, we are on chapter 7. Remember what happened last chapter? The goose had her babies. I made a connection because the geese near my house had babies. And Templeton, the rat, took the rotten egg because she had 7 babies and 1 egg didn't hatch. And the rat wanted it. So Templeton rolled away the egg and they said, "Be careful, Templeton, because if that egg breaks, it's a stink bomb and the whole barn will stink." So that was the last chapter. And in this chapter, our problem is about to get a lot worse. So remember, what do they do with pigs on farms? They fatten them up and they slaughter them because pigs give us bacon, pork, ham. So remember, the goose thought to herself, "Oh, poor Wilbur doesn't know what Mr. Zuckerman has in store. He's going to have a Christmas feast with Wilbur," and that's why they keep feeding the pig. So keep that in mind with what they do with pigs on farms, and listen closely to this chapter. It's a short one, so listen closely, but our problem gets worse. Wilbur liked Charlotte, and don't forget about Charlotte. She's a main character, the spider, and that Wilbur wanted a friend, and Charlotte is Wilbur's friend. Okay. Wilbur liked Charlotte better and better each day. Her campaign against insects seemed sensible and useful. Hardly anybody around the farm had good word to say for a fly. Flies spent their time pestering others. The cows hated them. The horses detested them. The sheep loathed them. Mr. and Mrs. Zuckerman were always complaining about them and putting up screens. Wilbur admired the way Charlotte managed. He was particularly glad that she always put her victim to sleep before eating it. "It's real thoughtful of you to do that, Charlotte," he said. "Yes," she replied in her sweet musical voice. "I always give them an anesthetic so they won't feel pain. It's a little service I throw in." As the days went by, Wilbur grew and grew. He ate 3 big meals a day. He spent long hours lying on his side, half asleep, dreaming pleasant dreams. He enjoyed good health and he gained a lot of weight. One afternoon, when Fern was sitting on her stool, the oldest sheep walked into the barn and she stopped to pay a call to Wilbur. "Hello," she said. "Seems to me you're putting on weight." "Yes, I am," replied Wilbur. "At my age, it's a good idea to keep gaining." "Just the same, I don't envy you," said the old sheep. "You know why they're fattening you up, don't you?" "No," said Wilbur. "Well, I don't like to spread the bad news," said the sheep, "but they're fattening you up because they're going to kill you. That's why." "They're going to what?" screamed Wilbur. Fern grew rigid on her stool. "Kill you. Turn you into smoked bacon and ham," continued the old sheep. "Almost all young pigs get murdered by the farmer as soon as the real cold weather sets in. There's a regular conspiracy around here to kill you at Christmas time. Everybody is in on the plot. Lurvy, Zuckerman, even John Arable." "Mr. Arable," sobbed Wilbur. "Fern's father?" "Certainly. When a pig is to be butchered, everybody helps. I'm an old sheep and I see the same thing, same old business, year after year. Arable arrives with his .22. He shoots the—" "Stop!" screamed Wilbur. "I don't want to die. Save me! Somebody save me!" Fern was just about to jump up when a voice was heard. "Be quiet, Wilbur," said Charlotte, who had been listening to this awful conversation. "I can't be quiet," screamed Wilbur, racing up and down. "I don't want to be killed. I don't want to die. Is it true what the old sheep says, Charlotte? Is it true they're going to kill me when the cold weather comes?" "Well," said the spider, plucking thoughtfully at her web, "the old sheep's been around this barn a long time. She has seen many a spring pig come and go. If she says they plan to kill you, I'm sure it's true. It's also the dirtiest trick I've ever heard of. What people don't think of." Wilbur burst into tears. "I don't want to die," he moaned. "I want to stay alive right here in my comfortable manure pile with all my friends. I want to breathe the beautiful air and lie in the beautiful sun." You're certainly making a beautiful noise," snapped the old sheep. "I don't want to die," screamed Wilbur, throwing himself to the ground. "You shall not die," Charlotte said briskly. What? Really? Cried Wilbur. Who's gonna save me? I am, said Charlotte. How? Asked Wilbur. That remains to be seen, but I am going to save you, and I want you to quiet down immediately. You're carrying on in a childish way. Stop your crying. I can't stand the hysterics. That is the end of our chapter. Whoa, what just happened? Here's the old sheep, and she told Wilbur something. So these sheep are kind of mean, and there's a few of them, and this is the old matriarch, the old female sheep. And what did she tell Wilbur? You're going to die, sonny. I've seen a lot of pigs come in here, and they do the same thing every time. Right around the cold weather, they're going to kill you. And how did Wilbur take the news? This is a surprise to him. He didn't know. He was just trying to make friends on the farm. I feel bad for Wilbur, and he burst into tears. I don't want to die. This is a serious problem. We're talking about life and death. How do you feel? This poor Wilbur, and he's crying. And the sheep didn't seem very nice, but who came to Wilbur's aid? Who said, it's going to be okay, I'm going to save you? Charlotte. So, do you think Charlotte's a good friend to Wilbur? I would say she is a very good friend. And she told Wilbur, stop, calm down, you're acting childish, I will help you. So, our problem got a lot worse. Wilbur just found out what the farmer's plan was. And Fern was in this chapter. She didn't say anything. She was sitting there. And who helps? Mr. Arable, Fern's father. So he comes over with his gun, and that's how it's done. It's some serious stuff. But thankfully, there's Charlotte, who said she's going to save him. So I have a question. I'm wondering, how could a spider possibly save a pig? I mean, a little spider? How could a spider possibly save Wilbur? We do know she's smart, but she's just a little spider. What is she going to do? So I'm asking that question. I'm wondering things. I'm making connections. I'm making predictions. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on Thursday.